So unrelated to the hot water heater installation, we're going to be painting the basement as much as we can because it's got like 1940s, 50s green in here, and I don't know whether to paint the floor joists or not, but several years ago the floor and the walls had been painted a very light beige color, and I've got some porch and floor paint, so I'm going to go ahead, start it in on the support beams, starting the beam up here, any areas where it's going to be hard to reach with that water heater in place. And I think it'll help the bottom of the water heater last longer by having the floor painted to just kind of block any moisture or condensation from building up. We're also putting blocks underneath it, wood blocks, so that it's not setting directly on the floor. These new water heaters don't come with feet, and you can buy a separate pan to put underneath it. But basically all you're paying for is a catch pan if it happens to leak, and then you can drain off of that also. It's not putting any space between your damp floor or anything. So this has been a semi-moist basement. As you can see, we've been drying concrete here for a week, but we've only had heat for 2 or 3 days. So it's coming along a little bit at a time. But the main thing is, you know, protecting and doing as much in advance as we can. So we didn't know that we were going to have to do this job exactly, because with the heat off, when that job got all done and the new furnace was installed, he had to move on to the water heater. So now the new water heater is all installed. The whole basement is just looking so much better. All of the random galvanized steel pipe is all gone, all replaced with new copper. So while that job was getting done, we had to hold off on painting because the floor was getting wet. And this area here is all fixed up. We found some floor joists that needed to be redone because they just cut them all up to make the angles that they wanted. This is the supply going out for the garden hose. So while that job was getting done, we had to hold off on painting because the floor was getting wet. And this area here is all fixed up. We found some floor joists that needed to be redone because they just cut them all up to make the angles that they wanted. This is the supply going out for the garden hose. And then the washer and dryer, of course, being moved over there. So he put in shut-off valves here for all of that. A tip, add one to your water faucet going outside so that if you're gone, your neighbors aren't filling their swimming pool or filling your basement for fun. So now we're all set to go again on this.
Ball of, like a mass of pine trees.
100 feet, all used up. We've been flushing the toilet. We're gonna change bits. Right now it's on the cutter bit. Go reel in the 100 feet and then get this all buttoned up. And then this job is leading to a new job because because he doesn't like that hose there. It's plastic, and these stainless steel hoses are really good guarding against bursting or problems at all. So that's going to be switched with a new valve also. Sink was completely drained, and there was a bad washer in the P-trap, so that's been fixed. And the broken soldered pipe under here was fixed, and then we found out when the water wasn't draining from here that the valve that shuts off the water for taking a bath has come apart. So we have to take that apart from inside of here to get access to fix this. So then that job led to this job because these pipes were blown apart from freezing in the basement under the sink. So that was all fixed. We decided to replumb the whole thing because it was cobbled together, so it's looking much better. 100 feet, all used up. We've been flushing the toilet. We're gonna change bits. Right now it's on the cutter bit. Go reel in the 100 feet and then get this all buttoned up. So that tree is growing more over the years that we've owned the house. So now the roots are growing from there over to the property line there and going back into the pipes.
Oh, let me smooth it out just a little bit. This is just the rough coat. Doing a before and after, because there's still some before here.
And the work inside is slow going because there's still outside work to do. Today, we went through the flower beds, raked out all the leaves. Things are starting to bloom, and divided some of the perennials. So definitely a big job done. I don't know what these are, but they're a pretty purple flower, so I divided them up because there's nothing but lily of the valley growing through here, which only sends out some little white flowers for a long time. And then a tiger lily, so I divided that. And that's another one of those purple flowers. We put in some hostas. And then I went through and mowed the front. We're on a high traffic road and I don't really like the kids mowing up front. So I took care of that. And we moved the solar lights to the front of the house that were in storage. And there's lots of lily of the valley growing in here. I just have to get the grass under control. And we have to bring a scrub brush over and clean the front porch. It's never been stained and finished. Not a good idea to try to do that when it's first built because of the pressure treating. And then we started in on scraping the siding today to get it ready for paint because it's going to be 80 for a couple of days. So we're working on everything we can. We got some more tree trimming to do, some more roofing to do, and the rest of the yard.